Great. Welcome, everybody. Here we are. So, this is the week one of the new 14 weeks. So, it's absolutely super to have every one of you on board. We are going to be revisiting something we did in the previous set of mentoring. And this webinar is about the mastery side of goal setting and vision boards. And for those of you who potentially haven't done your goal setting or vision yet, it really is time to look at this and kind of go for it as much as possible. So I guess really what I want to do in this is kind of supercharge what you already have. I know that we, off air, we had a little discussion about those of you who have finally got around to doing it, which is wonderful. And actually, I need to revisit mine as well. So this is a really, really good time to kind of get it done also. And I just think that it's super important to kind of stress that within the next 14 weeks, not only are we going to be taking a look at personal sort of webinars to help your own personal wellness, but a lot of this is going to be, moving your business forward and moving your ideas forward and collaborating together and making sure that we're all kind of achieving everything that we really want to achieve in these kind of crazy times, because yeah, it's really a mixed bag out there at the moment, because at the time of giving this webinar, it is going into summer holidays, which is notorious for business to kind of dip a little bit. But I think we just need to get those goals and be a little bit kind of more laser focused on them of what we want to achieve within this time as well. So we are going to look at some SMART goal setting, first of all. We're going to look at some vision boards, and then we're going to look at some action planning today. So we're going to take a look previously during the week within the Facebook chat. There were, ideas. Is it week by week, month by month, week, day by day, year by year? It can be all of those. But I think it needs to be in bite-sized chunks so we know how to action. And it's the third part here, the action planning, that brings it all together and kind of gets you on the road. So let's take a look at the SMART goals. Now, we've been through these before because the SMART goal setting is such a common way to actually set goals as well. So, as far as I'm concerned, if you want to succeed, you got to set the goals. And without the goals, you have that lack of focus and that lack of direction, which all of us need. So goal setting not only allows you to take control of the life decisions, it provides you with that kind of benchmark that we also need to determine whether you're actually succeeding in what you call success as well. So, there's different ways to think about it and kind of defining success and what that actually looks like for you as well. So we have the SMART side here. So simply put, I just think it's easy to kind of make sure that you're following this style. But you don't always have to apply it as a rule either. But I just think that it's designed to be more powerful. But there are variations within this as well, as you will see. But I just think that it kind of follows a system that will help us all. But above anything else, they have to be clear. Yeah, they have to be clear and well defined. And these kind of vague and fluffy, I like the, wishy-washy. I use that a lot, but it's so true. Wishy-washy goals are unhelpful because they just don't provide that sufficient direction. And, sometimes you need them to kind of pave the way. And I think that makes it easy. It's funny because I was doing a beach walk. Well, we've done a lot of beach walking this week with the kids, and it's been really lovely because we talk and we talk so much more, which is wonderful. And I kind of just push them a little bit sometimes on a beach walk. It's kind of an open space and a relaxed way to do it. I guess at home, when I can have these conversations with them, they might feel a little bit cornered. And sometimes I think it's about choosing your place and choosing your time to not only have the conversations with yourself and with your family, but also with the teams that you're working with. And so taking yourself out of a natural environment and putting yourself into something else is also quite good. So, even today for 3 hours, I went to the Marriott Hotel, which is just honestly a 5 minute walk up the road. I just thought, I just don't want to sit behind my desk. I just want to get somewhere else and just really do some deep, concentrated work away from other distractions that were in the house. So, but I did invite one of the kids to come with me and say, if you're going to come, you have to come and do some work, and we can just sit there and have a coffee. And walking there, I pushed about goals. And I did talk about one of them being really wishy-washy. And it only took us 5 minutes to go through this system, and which I'm going to go through tonight, and to clarify what they really wanted to do. And what they found in the 2 hours that we were actually working, because we had a coffee and a little sneaky piece of cake at the same time while we were chatting. But in the 2 hours of deep work we did, she'd actually organized more of work for next year. And I just thought that was fantastic. And do you know what? They feel really proud of themselves afterwards. So let's take a look at this system to see if it can help you as well. And the first one is being really specific. And, again, those wishy-washy goals just aren't going to work. So you really need to make it easy. Where do you want to get to by defining precisely what you want to end up with, okay? Or who you want to end up with, or what is the outcome, but be really quite specific. And I guess it links so beautifully to it being measurable, because this is where you get precise. You're specific about what you want, but now you're going to get that precision bit in there with amounts, with dates. Measure how you're going to measure that degree of success. If your goal is simply, I don't know, like to reduce expenses, okay? Just plucked it from the air. Reduce expenses. How do you know if something so vague like reducing expenses is successful? So put that actually down. So in 1 month's time, are you going to have like a 1% reduction in your expenses? Or are you going to have a 10% reduction, or a 50% reduction? That kind of stuff. So without a way to measure your success, you kind of miss out. And I'm going to add something here because this is really important, and I'm going to tell you why I'm adding this. You're going to miss out on the celebration of knowing you've actually achieved something. So on Sunday, I finally finished editing my book 9 of my 9-book Revamp Your Wellness series, and I talk a lot about celebrating, and it's something that even I miss doing. And I think that celebration is very much linked to these goals, because the more you celebrate, we celebrate when something happens, maybe on our, manifesting bingo, but do we really celebrate when we reach goal? And so I really want you to put that in the measurable bit. So linked to reaching that goal is celebration. Then we need to have it attainable and actionable. You so have to just make sure that it's absolutely, first of all, possible to achieve. Um, you know, you have to set a goal that you hope of achieving. Otherwise, you just end up being demoralized and it just erodes that confidence. So these can be in different stages as well. For example, again, this one kind of plucked out of the air because I often see it on some manifesting things. Oh, I'm going to be the first one in my family to be a billionaire. It's like, that's great, but that is pretty difficult to achieve an action. But you could make, if it's a financial goal you're after, something more achievable that actually, when you see it, makes you think, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. Instead of like, well, I'm never going to reach that anyway, but I'll give it a good go. That's not the kind of emotion we want with this. And hopefully that makes sense. So by kind of setting these realistic yet challenging goals, okay, you need to hit this kind of balance of what you actually need. And you do need to raise the bar sometimes. So it's always nice to kind of air them with other people because sometimes we play too small. But what don't want to do is to have it so kind of massive that it is not achievable or actionable, or it gives you a huge amount of stress to try to action it. Okay, so I think that's a little bit more kind of in depth with what that is, and it kind of goes hand in hand with it being realistic. And I guess what I also mean by realistic here is also relevant, and relevant in the direction that you want to go in your life and your career and your relationships. So by keeping all the goals, aligned is what I mean by it here. So realistic and I guess really relevant as well, which I can add to there. So you need to develop this focus to kind of get ahead. And so they're not kind of scattered and inconsistent goals as well that fritter your time away over a long period of time. Do you ever feel sometimes that you sit there and you look at your goals and you think, God, how am I going to achieve that today? That is good and bad because they should be, have this action list, which is what we're going to talk about, which is why, moving over to my kind of daily productivity sheet here, these daily productivity sheets all are in alignment with the direction that I want to go. And if it doesn't, then I just absolutely leave it. Absolutely leave it. And again, like I still get asked to do a few kind of freebie things. It's like, no, I'm not going to do those. It's not in alignment with what I want to do. That kind of thing. So finally, we need to set time-bound goals. And these are your dreams with deadlines. Dreams with deadlines. And again, this means, it all comes back to the celebration. When you achieve it, I want you to celebrate. And celebrating success is something sometimes that is not done. We've had a culture of it also not being acceptable. We've had a culture of where celebrating success is looked upon like gloating or showing off. And this is where I grew up in a culture that was very different here in the UK. And it's something that I've really had to come to terms with myself as well. And I used to really kind of play things down. And I don't anymore. Now, if I win something, or if my kids do really, really well, do you know what? Shout about it, because I think it is becoming more acceptable, and the more we see it, the more acceptable it is going to come. So definitely celebrate the success as much as possible, and your sense of urgency will start to increase with once that achievement has helped as well, which is really good. So in summary of this slide, I totally believe that you can achieve anything that you want to achieve, and providing a clear set of goals and follow a formula will help bring it to fruition. And honestly, you can all achieve anything that you want. I've worked with you all long enough now and know that that will come true. So I want you to believe in your power, and that is imperative for you. Yeah. So what you believe completely determines whether you can achieve the goal or not. So fortunately, you can change your beliefs and start believing in yourself, which is why on our Facebook group, I put the kind of 7 topics, and belief was one of them. Trust, belief, commitment, building momentum. These are words that I have now, which I'll show you, dun, 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 in my Passion Planner diary, been writing. Whoops, I'll show you here, just a minute. Been writing in my diary on a daily basis, so I'm concentrating on certain things. So in my Passion Planner, I have areas where I can write stuff, and those kinds of things there, like attention to detail. This is a good one. Win within the rules. Yeah, I do like to stretch those rules a little bit. Nothing less than outstanding. I believe in miracles. I deserve the best. Be strong and nail it. Rituals equals results. Devote myself to done. Learn and grow. Operate in intelligence. Stay in alignment. All of these are daily things that I have at the top of my diary, again, to focus my attention on achieving those goals. And the opportunities come, but so do the setbacks. All right, I'll be completely honest with you. Facing and overcoming setbacks when we don't achieve our goals gives you that power, I feel, and resourcefulness to work a little bit harder, or use it as a springboard, or think, okay, what didn't work so well that time? I'm going to tweak it, and focus it on this area. So sometimes we don't always reach them when we want to reach them in that time bound area. So change the time. Yeah, which is great. It's like I had one that I wanted to do in June, and it's like, okay, this ain't happening in June, so I switched it to September. I feel so much better now. Not that I've taken the pressure off myself, okay? Just given myself longer to achieve it and to figure out a way to do it and talk to people around doing that. It just makes you feel better about doing it. And hopefully that all makes sense.
Barbara,
Yeah.
when you write your goals, are you only writing goals that are related to your work, or are you writing all personal goals as well?
Oh, we're going to get to that next.
Okay.
Good question. Good question. So here we go. We want to decide what you want. These are the sections I write all my goals in. Okay. I have my financial goals, my career and business goals, my relationship goals, my family and free time goals, my health and appearance goals, and my personal growth goals. Wonder if I have that here. I might do. I have a summer goal setting session. Oh gosh, I just write everything out. Okay, so this is my Revamp Your Wellness goals with a completely timed out, week by week, what do I want to achieve with it before it launches. I'm that detailed because I do spend time doing that. And I think that's really important, because in my diary, when I have my little chunk of time that's working on the Revamp book, I pull this out and I say, okay, great. I am now the week 12, which is the week of this week, and it's final book edits. Yeah, I know I got to get them all done, because next week, if I don't, then I'm going to be late for something else. So do you see what I mean? Be really specific in each one of those each one of those areas. So financial goals, I have some, monthly goals, right? Got to keep the lights on. So I know my break even. I know my minimum amount that I have to create. And then I have my financial goals on top of that. So savings. And when I go over that, it's like, great, okay, I paid for all my bills now. Now I can start saving. What does that look like? So boom, saving goes, a little bit of play money, all that kind of things. Career and business goals. Well, for me in the areas that I'm working at now, which is the wellness ambassador courses, really have some great goals around that, as well as the revamp your wellness. Then I have my consultancy that I do with the one company for 20 hours a month. I have really big goals around that, and they just let me run with it, which is great. Relationship goals, I have, my family, which are in Canada. So, I have to spend quite a bit of time creating a relationship still with them, which is long distance, and it's not as easy with everybody, but I keep that going. A relationship with myself for my self-care. I have a relationship with my husband, and so it's nurturing all of those. Family and free time, that's with the kids in New Zealand, the kids here, all those kinds of things. It's what do we want to achieve? We have a whole summer goal sheet that we want to achieve, and we've got 4 weeks to achieve it. And it's funny because we were talking about it again on the weekend. We've got so much to pack in the next 4 weeks before Hannah goes back to uni. And I'm like, okay, let's get our diaries synced. When are we doing this? And just get it done. Create the memories, yeah, and choose what you want that's in there. And then the financial goals, we've costed it all out. I tell you what, zip wiring down Bournemouth Pier onto the beach is not cheap. So it's like, okay, how many courses do I have to sell to pay for that? And I mean, it just works like that. Health and appearance goals. These are non-negotiable goals. I have my weekly things that I want to do. And again, my tick list reflects that. And, I'm constantly adding to that and sticking to it because, my long-term goal for my health is to avoid the diseases of civilization. Well, I tell you what, that comes down to some everyday choices as well. Okay? And then I have my personal growth goals. What courses do I want to take? How do I still want to have my own personal development and to support my family's personal development as well? Because I also think this is super important. I mean, my husband is out cycling now because I'm like, get out. You sat at the desk all day since 8 o'clock this morning. Go out for a cycle. It's not raining, and clear your head and do these kinds of things. So, it's supporting your family and in their own journey and their own goals as well, and what that actually looks like. Does that answer your questions in these areas?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I have a question with regards to the difference between what you consider the difference between goals, and so if you're thinking of more short-term goals, and the stuff you put on the bingo.
Oh yeah, fun stuff on manifesting bingo. Let me grab it.
Because I sort of am using bingo as my goals for that month. I'm putting on all the things I want to achieve in that month.
Yeah, that's fine. If that's how you want to use the manifesting bingo, then go ahead. I kind of do as well, but then I kind of have some spiritual stuff on there as well, which like the fluffy stuff, like what is it?
Glorious surprise from the universe.
Yes, glorious surprises from the universe. Just kind of let it happen. And They do kind of come out of nowhere. I'm working on a very, very specific goal at the moment. I'm buying a flat for my daughter, and yeah, it's 200 grand, and of course, it just doesn't like come out of thin air. I have 13,000 pounds to go. That's it. It's a big manifestation, but I'm stuck. I'm a little bit stuck. I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm a little bit stuck on the last 13,000, and I'm like, where the hell is this going to come from? And I was quite deflated last week because I had thought I was going to sell more courses with the webinar than I did. And I was like, okay, you got to pull this out of the bag by this Friday. And so I'm just like flat out. That is my sole purpose, to get that flat for her. Sole purpose. So the focus is really, really going. Now, the difference between the beginning of last week and the beginning of this week is last week I raised another 30 grand. Yeah. So I think 13 should be easy. Yeah? Do you agree?
Yep.
Good. Because that's where my mindset is. If I can do 30 last week, I can do 13 this week. So that kind of stuff goes on here, but my actions are on my daily productivity sheet. Okay? So I'm like, okay, you need 13 grand. How the hell am I going to do that? That goes with a to-do list. Who do I need to contact? Who do I need to chase up? What other things are coming in? Solidify those. Can they pay me beforehand? That's my massive to-do list. Okay? Those are the kinds of differences between your actions and getting them done. And then I need Nikki's little bingo. What did you call it, Nikki? A bingo dobber or something?
Dabber.
Dabber.
Dr. Minnie,
Dabber.
bingo dabber.
I need a bingo dabber. And I tell you what, I'm going to go online to Amazon and I'm going to buy a bingo dabber, and I'm going to start dabbing, because I just think that is just so cool. That's like the coolest thing ever. So again, we want to have those kinds of, sort of areas. And just to kind of solidify this a little bit more, I've talked about disappointments and setbacks, but I don't want a mediocre life. And there are disappointments and setbacks. It's part of the journey. And I just need to keep plowing through a lot of those. And that's when I go back to the goals. And I go back to my big why. Why am I doing this? Why? I had my mother-in-law say, why are you buying a flat for her? I said, because I know she's intrinsically unhappy in the house that she's living with. Not our house. She doesn't live in our house. She lives in a house with 7 other people, and she doesn't like it. I said, but she's autistic, highly autistic. She can only hold a job down for 6 to 8 hours a week. I said, she's never going to be able to afford it. It's my job to kind of finish that off for her. And other people will never understand the goals or the drive that you want to achieve. And, they'll even try to put you off. And I'm just like, yeah, forget it. Actually, do you know what? It's none of your business anyway. If I want to do it, I want to do it. And don't let anyone put you off or kind of put you in a different direction that actually makes them feel better. This is about what's going to make you feel good with these goals, and what enables you to have that, kind of amazing life that you want to create. And I think that is again, super duper, super important. So again, we want to have these areas to achieve that kind of high level health and energy. Okay, that's really where you want to be. And most people put maybe the health and appearance first. I do. Mine's kind of financial health, hand in hand. But second, I normally have, my loving relationships are really, really important to me. And having those people in your life that you love, but who also have self-respect for you and have this kind of satisfied life that you want. Next is meaningful work. I love my work. I really do. And that engagement in business and career makes a difference to me on many, many levels in a really positive way. So, I enjoy it. Then, of course, I have that monetary freedom as well. And that financial independence has always been important for me. Interestingly, I've always been the breadwinner in the family, always. And so that comes with obviously a lot of responsibility, but I've also taught the kids to be like that as well. Stand on your own 2 feet. And that comes from my mom. My mom always said to me, Barbara, always make your own money. And from a very young age, she used to say that to me. Barbara, always make your own money. Always have your own bank account separate from your other one. She used to teach me these things. I never really understood why she said it until I got divorced. Yeah. And I was like, I wish I had separated a little bit more. Not in a mean kind of way, don't get me wrong, because I was very, very generous in my divorce, very generous. And, I gave up the family home for my ex-husband to live in. I was that generous. So, I'm very fair. But then I also draw a line places as well. But I do want all of you, whoever is watching this, even on the replay, to be independently, financially on your own. I think it's really, really important. Great. So let's take a look. We have this inner navigator. I call it like an inner navigator. I don't know what you kind of call it, but it's this subconscious mind, okay? My kind of intuition. And this, I believe, this inner navigator, my intuition, makes up sometimes 95% of people's minds. And it's a huge influencer. It can be a huge influencer in your successes and your failures. So it is something that you do need to condition yourself to taking a look at. And sometimes you need to overcome that conditioning as well, because these can really influence your subconscious mind and be very powerful. And so I personally do a lot of work and make it a healthy habit to listen to my intuition and to, make sure that my mind is conditioned into that money mindset, positive mindset, all those kinds of things. And if you remember in the first set of webinars that we did the money mindset. Maybe go back and take a look at that, because a lot of these goals really do take a certain mindset to stick to your action plan. So we've talked about giving each goals deadlines and regrouping and condensing these goals into that sort of short term, medium term, and long term. So for me, short term goals are what I do on a daily basis, what I do on a monthly basis, and what I do every 3 months. So I kind of have a 3-month, goal setting, things that I want to achieve in each area. And then I reset them. And I put time in my diary to do that. And I think that that's really important to take a look, because sometimes life is so busy. I'm not so sure you can really look any further than 3 months. And, yes, I have what I want to achieve during the year, but, it comes down to potential daily actions, really real daily actions. And a lot of it is that kind of magic that you have inside yourself, okay? Because I think a lot of you already possess within you now everything you need to become highly successful, all right? And you can achieve all the goals now. You just need that powerful system. And you need to follow the system and be consistent, which again, in the private Facebook group, I put those 7 sayings. And I want you to choose one of them after this. It's like, is it be consistent? Okay, is it laser focus? Because you all have the ability, you just need to follow the system. And again, taking a look, which we'll go on to that in a second, just kind of recapping, this as well. It is about knowing exactly what you want and why that's important to you. And if you get derailed with disappointments and setbacks, or being deflated like I was last week, I went into my little kind of toolbox and it's like, look, okay, I didn't do as well as I wanted to do to reach my goal, but how can I make the best out of that? And you don't stop until you've done all the actions in there. And sometimes it's just not going to happen. You just have to realize it. Yeah. So I think that's it. But it does come down to the big why. And you need to drill that down to discover any kind of underlying motivation behind each of your goals, because that's your driver. It really is your driver, and don't have fear and scarcity behind there. Because sometimes I have clients say to me, I'm really scared of getting sick. And so that's why I want to be, I want to be healthy. And I'm like, oh, well, don't have being scared be the reason why you do something healthy. Switch it around, and don't kind of have that scarcity. I had a business mentoring client, and they said, yeah, one of my greatest fears is going bankrupt. And it's like, God, you know what? That thought doesn't even enter my head. And I just kind of had to work with them to get those thoughts out of their head. It's like, yeah, but if you're going to think about it, you're going to go that way, right? So don't even have these negative things come in. And if you do, then you do need to take a look at getting a different mindset around it. So let's take a look at the vision boards, because this is maybe where we have that bigger vision. And for a lot of people, we write things down, and there's a lot of science that says if you write it down, the brain kind of takes it on even more. But if you have vision boards as well, different types of vision boards, and you're looking at it all the time, they also subconsciously really, really help and can kind of give you this empowerment that you need all the time. And so I'm going to say it again. When I was a bit deflated last week, you didn't reach what I wanted to reach. It's like, okay, pull the vision boards out. Let's take a look. Let's kind of rejig and, look at it in front of you or wherever you keep your vision boards, because mine kind of all stay here, and I just kind of talk it through myself. And it's like, okay, what are the actions now? Okay. Instead of sitting into the wallowness of, oh my God, I didn't achieve it. It's like, okay, now what's the action? What do I need to do? Pick this up, turn it around. That's where I want everyone at. And that is how I want to create these amazing vision boards to help you with everything. So we want to kind of choose that happy bit now, because this is super duper important. We have old habits and we have changing habits, and happiness is a state of mind that you choose, and it is your choice. And it's kind of that emotion that you choose to experience. And you can believe that happiness can be either external factors or internal factors that are making it. But again, it is kind of your choice. And I think a lot of it is, if your vision is attached to bringing health, wealth, happiness, and success, then you are on the right path. And my goals are all attached to that. Am I making great memories for the kids? Am I, creating health, wealth, happiness, and success? And if they're all attached to that, then I know I'm on the right path. They're not attached to anything else. And I think that's where you need to come from. And that's what builds the self-esteem around them. No matter what your immediate circumstances are, you have to kind of put that to the side. You have to create. It's like, there's so much science now around the brain doesn't know what's real and not real. So when you look, so I just pop them down here. So when you look again at these, and you are flooding the brain with all of these amazing things, then actually the brain believes it and produces all the kind of right hormones, but also produces the ideas to create what you need to create. Okay, I always say I am such a lucky person, and I am a really lucky person. I am, but I truly believe that. But the opportunities that I get are great. But I love giving and sharing those opportunities, which actually has this beautiful flow. So you have to create the flow around the vision boards as well. So again, the vision boards, I'll just go back up to these areas. I actually create different vision boards in different areas, and you don't have to do that. You can put it all on one vision board if you want. But for me, I have a financial vision board. I have a career vision board. I have my family and relationships that's in one vision board. I have my health vision board, and my personal kind of development are in that as well. So I've got the 4. So my career one, and I'll just kind of read things to you because it sits over here. Attention to detail. I've got awards on there. I have my smart ideas, path to success, passion, drive every day. Prosperity and peace go hand in hand. Then I have a couple of pictures of things that I want to achieve. I've got a good one. Happy clients equals happy profits, or healthy profits. Food savior, a caring culture. All those kinds of things are in my career. Then I have my health one. Again, I've got me time. Enjoy drinking more water. Yeah, there we go. Cheers, everybody. Enjoy drinking more water. Youthful skin. Daily exercises, all those kinds of fixing my teeth this year. Yay! All that kind of stuff is on there. And then writing, how am I going to do it? Money that I need beside it. So when I have those things up there, I've got me time and I've got daily exercise, and I actually have, I belong to the yoga lounge online. It's what, £20 a month or something. I can do, as many classes as I like. And so I do my Pilates twice a week. Boom, that's in there. It goes into what my break evens are to be able to create all of this. Can you see how everything is intertwined and attached? I know where I'm at all the time. I've got banking apps. I know when things are coming in, things are going out. My Stripe payments, my invoices on Xero. I know where I'm at all the time, and it makes such a difference. Then we have lifestyle. In my lifestyle, I have certain kinds of clothes that I want to buy, perfumes, holidays are in my lifestyle as well. So all the family things that we want to achieve. And then it carries on into those kind of family time as well. So be quite specific what you want, which is great. Whatever works for you, you're going to find your own unique style with this. And that's the beauty of it. Whatever makes you happy. The great thing is that it's best to do it than not do it. So we have this. And then we want to go the extra mile. Okay. And this is about, writing out a list of people in your life or customers in your life who you want to help on a regular basis. And then write down, and this is, at least 10 ways that you can show greater appreciation to those people, whether it's in the business or whatever. And I do this all the time. So in my list, which book is that one in? It's over here. That's in this one. Okay. And so in this one is the best project you will ever work on is you. That's what this book is. And in here, I write lists of people and their names and how I can add extra value to their lives. And so I've got my sister, Linda, who called last night, struggling with a little bit. She's 3 years older than me, going through a hell of a time with her hormones at the moment. So it's like, okay, how can I make Linda's life easier at the moment? It's like, okay, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. Great, let's do it. Yeah, it takes me 15 minutes. That's it. Go the extra mile. Because if you're not going to go the extra mile for someone else, how can you ever expect them to go the extra mile with you? And I've had this philosophy for a very, very long time. Back when I had my company and I used to have au pairs. I had the greatest au pairs that used to help out with the kids, and they lived in, it was amazing. And they were of the age on the weekends and stuff, they wanted to go out. And I felt really responsible for them because obviously, they had their families wherever they were from. Some were from Turkey. I've had Polish ones. I've had German ones. It just kind of depends where they came from. But I always took them into Bournemouth, and if they went out clubbing or something, because a lot of them took English classes at the same time as well. On the weekends, I would pick them up. I'd never let them come home on their own because we lived where the bus. My old home was where a bus stop, and we lived at the end of a cul-de-sac with kind of 10 houses at the end of the cul-de-sac, but it was quite dark walking up the hill. And I thought, do you know what? I am going to pay it forward. I'm going to go the extra mile with each one of them. And over that time, I used to pick them up. And whether it was 2 o'clock in the morning, I didn't care. Because I used to say, if I don't do that for them, how can I ever expect anyone to pick up my girls in another country if they were doing the same thing? And it's the same that I think of with business and friends and family. So your exercise is, how can you go the extra mile with everyone you're doing business with? And for you to write their name and 10 ways you could go the extra mile with them. And to do it. Because that is how you supercharge your goals. That is how you get where you want to go so much faster. And asking them, how can I facilitate this being done for you? What can I do to make it easier for you? What do you need help with? And I just absolutely love that, and something that I have just done for ages. And if you can do that, I think that would be amazing. If you can put that into practice, I think it would clearly show your appreciation for them. And it's that kind of word that gets about. It's not about self-sacrificing time to do these things. You have to wholeheartedly want to help these other people by giving that extra little bit of yourself to supercharge the goals. And kind of what I want to brainstorm in a second is thank you. What I want to brainstorm in a minute, because I'm going to stop sharing, is how can we all supercharge each other's goals and making sure that we are going that extra mile. And so I will spend some time writing each one of your names, okay? But if you can think of ways I can help you, then that's great. And I did this with Holly this morning. Holly's my stepdaughter. And I said to Holly, you know, how can I help you increase your business? Because I do business mentoring with her for 2 hours each week. We've launched this business together called Holy Grail. And I said, great, you know, how can I help you? And she's like, I really need you to do some videos and posts so I can put them on my Facebook. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. It's like so easy. Yeah. So, you know, today I just sort of, you know, get the old phone out. It's like, dun, dun, dun. Hey, yeah, so hi, I'm Barbara Cox. This is a really, really great program. Make sure that you know, do it. And just ping them over to her. And that was it. Literally, it took me at the most 10 minutes. At the most. So what can you do, or what can I do to help you guys a little bit more as well? Do you need a video endorsement of what you're doing that you can use on your social media? You know, do you need a whatever? Let's supercharge each other's goals to get where we want to be. So that's your task. Is I really want you to think about it. I know that there's some great collaborations that are already happening here within the Wellness Ambassador groups. And this is how we can help each other achieve our goals and support from there. And that's it. Thank you. Good night. Now, but yeah, anyway, just, you know, I'll come on board and if I can answer any questions or help with anything else, I just want to thank everyone as always for supporting these. Put some time in your diary, do your vision board, set your goals out, do your daily tasks, and every other distraction that comes in at this moment in time, I want you to just put them to the side. Because do you know what? They can wait. They can wait. Things that you want to tick off your list can't wait. They are priority for you. Cool. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. As
Thank
always.
you.
Thank you. If I can help in any other way, please ping me a message. I will pop this recording into the group for those who have missed it. And for those of you watching on replay, please do #replay so everyone can watch it as well. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you so much, and I'll see you over in the Facebook group.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.